May 11th, 2017. This paper right here is, well, it brought a new idea that I think establishment dogma is going to completely skip over. But it says HAT-P-6 and HAT-P-6 Bravo in stellar metamorphosis. Establishment dogma says HAT-P-6 is billions of years old, therefore its host is billions of years old. As to them, host stars and their companions are the same ages. Just so people are fully aware, go on Wikipedia, look up brown dwarf stars and their host stars. You'll see an age for the host star on the right hand side inside of that little box diagram with all the little specifics on the star. But then when you click on the companions like B, Bravo, Alpha, Charlie, or whatever is orbiting it, and say it's a brown dwarf, and then you go to that page, they won't have the information for the age of that brown dwarf because they assume that everything that orbits a star is all the same age. That's their theory. That's the paradigm. Earth, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all the meteors, all the asteroids, all the objects orbiting all the other objects, they're all the same age. That's not good theory. We shouldn't be using that in the 21st century. We should move on past that because it's outdated. HAT-P-6 is actually many millions of years old, and its companion, not its son or a daughter, its companion, HAT-P-6 Bravo, the hot Jupiter, is a few 100 million years old. I've placed them on the graph. On the graph, it means the host is around 4 times younger than its companion. HAT-P-6, the main star in the center, is around 90 million years old, and HAT-P-6 Bravo is about 450 million years old. This is opposed to the Earth-Sun relationship, where the Earth is 80 to 120 times older than the Sun. Now, we know the Earth is very old because, well, we've radiometrically dated it. We know it's billions of years old. Exactly how old it is, I don't think that's really, doing this theory justice. It's like 4.565282496.3 years. You don't want to get that specific because you're trying to give a ballpark. If you're that specific, of course it's going to be wrong. There's no way you could be that specific with Earth's age. So you give a ballpark estimate. And I think this is more a ballpark estimate that's much more spot on than what's accepted. And we know Earth is older than the Sun because it has rocks and minerals. In this theory, the oldest stars have rocks and minerals and have huge geological formations such as canyons, mountains, and you name it. When you look at the Sun, it's turbulent, it's hot, it's very, very young, and it's very, very energetic. It hasn't cooled down enough to form rocks and minerals. And here it says, the HAT-P-6 system is very young, which also explains the fact that the hot Jupiter has not disintegrated yet. It was recently adopted in astronomical terms. If it was a billion-year-old system, then the core of the newly forming planet in the center of the hot Jupiter would have been exposed already. Many billions of years of ripping away the outer atmosphere would leave no atmosphere. Establishment has no explanation for this simple system because they are still trying to inject life into their dead paradigm like Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. Basically what we have here is it's a hot Jupiter orbiting the host, and it's really, 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 really close. If this system was many billions of years old as claimed by establishment, why hasn't it disintegrated? Why hasn't the hot Jupiter disintegrated? Well, the reason why it hasn't disintegrated is because it's not a billion-year-old system. The object orbiting the host, or the companion orbiting the host, was adopted recently. It just took up orbit around it. It was recently adopted in astronomical terms, which means the two objects are not related at all, which then opens up the door to them obviously being vastly different in age. But here's the little diagram here. I'll go ahead and link this to the bottom so you can see it. Just imagine the 90 million year old object being around here, and then the hot Jupiter being somewhere down here, right past that little line. Now, the line it's not a black and white issue here. It's more or less a gray area. The reason why it's black and white on this is just to emphasize the mentality of astronomers. Their mentality is, it's a star or it's not a star. It's a planet or it's not a planet. It's a brown dwarf or it's not a brown dwarf. Their ways of classifying things are so cut and dry that they lose sight of the big picture. And that's why they're never going to understand how stars evolve and how planets are formed, which essentially in this theory is the same process. Alright, you guys, I'm sorry it's been so long since I made a video, but I'll go ahead and keep on going. Life stuff happened to me, so later.